Hey, Nessie. Thanks for getting this in, and thank you for doing so much work. Oops, that didn't work. To try to get different types of angles and lighting, and I agree. I think this is a really difficult assignment, especially with tungsten lamps, because they're not that bright, and they're so cold, and they're always a different temperature than the lights, the incandescent lights that most rooms are lit with. Most comfortable rooms, at least. And so gels are a good thing to consider adding to your toolkit at this point. Now, it's admittedly difficult to put a gel on a tungsten lamp because they're so hot, right? It's just going to melt, but, you know, you can put it on just for the shot and then take it off. But if you redid this assignment with strobes, you'd find it was a lot easier. Sorry, I have a high fever, and so if I seem a little bit less than lucid, I apologize. Let me find... let's see, let's go through your contact sheets. And so you were going for hard shadows, which you got. Lots of nice angles on this kitchen. She's a really lovely kitchen. If your aunt is anything like my aunt's, as soon as you asked to photograph her kitchen, she'd freak out and clean top to bottom. And say, oh, hi, yeah, dear, it's fine, there's no problem. Come on over. And they all talk like that, too. I'm not funny. I'm not funny. And I agree with you. I like the available light shots much more myself. Okay, so let's go to those. So these are great. These are great exposures. Your aunt has a beautifully illuminated kitchen. She just did a fantastic job with the lights in this. And I was actually really surprised to find out that this is your shot with the tungstens, because it just seems dark. Like, I guess if it was me, I probably would have put the lights more underneath the, you know, done a longer exposure, pulled the lights back a little bit, and put them further underneath the subject, like, you know, down here. Maybe that's what you did, but not really, because here's the shadow, so you're kind of a little bit above. So I probably would have tried to fill in this a little bit, or even cropped differently, you know, and just taken the picture down like this. I don't know what's over here, but yeah, I was surprised that this looks very available lighting. Other than the placement of the shadow, this looks very available lighting to me. So that's kind of the trick when you're using your lights out in the field, is to identify problem areas and use the lights to solve the problems. So I would have identified, you did in your write-up, you identified the dark shadows underneath the cabinets as a problem area. And so I would have used the lights personally to fill that in. And you could even, like, put on a C-stand, you could have put a bounce over here outside of the frame so you got even more light back up into that area. All right, but overall, I think you did a nice job, and these images, I think the kitchen is beautifully lit as is, so it did a really nice images of these. Look, there's a golf ball. And that Glenn had the same thing, I thought, in the first assignment that was posted. The room was already beautifully illuminated, so when he added light, it was like, you know. It's such a hard assignment, especially, like I said, with tungstens. It's just so difficult. If you redid this assignment with strobes, you'll find out it's a lot easier, because they're so much more powerful, and they're a little bit warmer, too, so you can kind of fix that problem as well. Okay. No, they're not. They're cooler. But, oh, I remember, but you can use them entirely because they're so powerful. You can turn off the available light in the room and just use one type of light from the strobes, and then, you know, correct the white balance in camera or in Lightroom. Okay. Thank you, Nessie. These are lovely. These are the most gigantic fake pears I've ever seen. Unless that's a tiny table. Maybe that's a tiny table. Okay, thanks.